Hey, Charlie and Bill. First off, this is such an improvement. I'm so proud. Unbelievable. All right, so let's get right to it. So let's just focus on the bottom half only. So whenever I do batting analysis, I like to just point out only one part first so you don't get overwhelmed. The first thing I'm going to, kind of go over, the stance is awesome. I love how your toes are slightly pigeon-toed, so slightly inwards, because this is going to have a great center balance here. Charlie, I'm sure you feel it yourself that everything is kind of loaded right there on your start. And that's a really good position to be in and start with. So I'm really proud of you with that. I do want to address one thing with the bottom half, though. When you start, let's get all set in our stance first and have our bat up in this position. So this will get you just kind of ready, have you nice and strong on the top half so that you're not getting into your position as you go into your load. Let's keep your load as something separate than your stance. So what I would like to see you do, Charlie, is once these knees are bent here, like this is a perfect position, A-frame position, right on that buckle, toes slightly in. That's perfect, Charlie. See, it even looks like an A. There you go. At this point, you want your bat up. So I have a lot of our players go over their markers when they start up their swing. So your marker in this situation would be, you want the knob of your bat to be lined up pretty much with your back knee at this point, and your bat up nice and strong. And this will give you a nice capital A with your elbows. Okay? That'll just get you in a good starting position so that you're not getting up and solid back here. All right? So the first thing with the stance, let's start in our A-frame and our bat up. And I always say, especially for the young ones, and then as they get older, they adjust and find their own path, let's get the hands by their ear. It's just a good reminder to keep them upright and strong and powerful, along with the concept of body language in our training. So let's get you started with that. The next thing I want to go over is when we go into your load, you got so much better at squatting into your hip and into your belt buckle, into your backside. It's so great. I'm so proud of you. Your knee is nice and inside. It's an excellent bottom half weight shift. So really great job. At this point here, okay, you're in there. You look great. Let's check out the leg lift. The leg lift is on point. Your knee is slightly inside your hip. I love it. Make sure that that shoulder's maybe a little bit more down, maybe like just an inch if you want to get really detailed and technical. Maybe a little bit more down. Hands up a little bit more, and that'll come with a good starting position with those hands. And then we go into the stride, all right? So I want to see where your foot started in your stance, and then let's check out going forward. So we got our leg lift. Okay, so it's still kind of right there. I would love to see you stride even just a little bit forward to allow you to air out your swing and drive your back hip forward more. Okay, so let's try to get a wider stride. I always say, you'll see in CUDIT course 2, Bill, it's kind of like that MMA front kick. So we compare CUDIT to 5 other sports, so we take concepts in their sport. So I like to consider this front leg as a kick forward to just to get that momentum going. A really powerful kick, and you'll see that in CUDIT course 2. Now, at this point, I love, though, that your hip is rocking first. It's going forward first. Very, very good. I would love to get your hands back more at this position for a little bit longer. The longer that you could stay in that separation, so like right here at this point with your knob, the better. That's going to get you all eccentrically loaded up on your core and the last segment that we talk about in your upper extremity. That's going to allow that eccentric buildup as your bottom half starts to unleash. So far, we discussed our startup position and we discussed our stride. We also just went over staying in that split a little bit longer and allowing the body to really coil up. But again, amazing improvement. So let's go forward here. Now, this is kind of what I was talking about. Charlie, if you gave me a stride a little bit wider, you wouldn't be so jammed on that knee. It'll be a powerful, slightly flexed, bent knee in your stride, in your step, but you wouldn't be so jammed and small. You'll be able to kind of loosen up and air out that bottom half a little bit more. Okay, so we got our bottom half, and I still want to stick with the bottom half only for now. We already went over 3 concepts that we're going to work on. Pay attention to the back side. Very good. You were sitting back last time we did our video analysis, but now you have your heel upright, allowing your momentum to drive forward versus sitting back. This also allows for you to rotate around your axis, around your front leg, without pulling you back with that heel down. Imagine a ballerina. They don't spin with their foot to the ground. So this will allow you to rotate around your axis. Again, cut it course 2, Bill. Okay, let's go to barrel to ball here. Barrel to ball at this phase, I would like to see you a little bit more in the zone with your shoulders. So we want a little more of that home plate position. So if you notice, your shoulder kind of whips away. And what we want at this point is it to be a little bit more inwards. Because it whips away, your front shoulder is flopping open. It's whipping open. So you're going to pull a lot of balls. As that one I think is kind of going. And it's going to kind of get you to cast more, so your bat's going to be away from you to get to the ball. And with that, a lot of other issues will happen, but you'll hit not the best part of the barrel as well. Okay? So your top half, I would like for you to get more into a solid L position for a good amount of time. So here you would still be in your L. Now, let's see barrel to ball. At barrel to ball, we want what we call a front leg post. So Charlie, think of a field goal and the post on a field goal. They don't bend. But at barrel to ball, the knee has to lock, because this bend means that some of that energy, it's actually called kinetic energy for fancy terms, but some of that energy is in this bent knee. But if you lock that knee hard, it's all transferring through the barrel, through the ball, okay? So if you watch a lot of other slow-mo videos, you'll notice that front knee almost goes backwards and in. Bill, cut it course 2. Cut it concentric hitting. We talk about this. By locking it in, the barrel will be loaded up with energy and will create what's called effortless bat whip. So it's just going to whip through the zone because of all of the kinetic energy built, all of the energy built throughout the body, through all of these steps put together. So we need to lock that front leg, Charlie, at barrel to ball. Not before, not at the end of the swing, at barrel to ball. Last but not least, I want to go over how we're finishing. So your bat's kind of pulling away, and I would love to see a nice strong power V at this point. Your head locked in, your nose in the zone, your mouth in the zone, your head in, your face in. Every part of your face, your ears are in at this point. And then you'll be able to extend your arms to a nice strong carry. At this point, you start to finish your swing. You want to make sure not to give up and get comfortable sitting back too much. You're going to lose some power that way. And you want to just be forceful from the beginning of the swing to the end of the swing. But you still want this heel up. You still want this up. You don't want it flat on the ground because you're going to pull back. And as you can notice, your body's just kind of leaning back right now. And you want it still to be forceful through that whip. And you got to run to first, Charlie. All right, so you don't want it to pull you back and just get out of the zone. If you typically have a very good finish and a very clean finish, honestly, it leads to a better path of mechanics throughout. So I want you to focus more in your next couple of trainings on having a solid finish. And your solid finish means this: nose in, head in, eyes in, mouth in. Heel up, shoulders more in. The shoulder is awesome with that bat over it. I'm so proud of you. What a great fix. And I'm just blown away by how quickly you fix a lot of this stuff. So I'm going to give you some drills to work on. So go over this video, pause it at certain times when I mention something that you have to fix, write it down, and just do one thing at a time so you're not overwhelmed. But again, this is probably the best improvement that I've seen, little one, and super awesome work. Keep practicing. Those days that your friends are sleeping, watching TV, guess what? This is what you're doing, and that's what the best do. Good job, kid.
Hey Charlie, Coach Lacey here. First off, excellent improvement in your video so far. So proud of you. So I'm going to give you a couple of drills to help you now get to the next level. First thing I want to talk to you about is your startup, like I discussed in the analysis. When you start up, I want you to make sure that you're not here and then lifting up, because especially at your age, you're most likely going to kind of stay down when you load your top half. So I want you to have a marker. Marker's going to be from your knob to your back knee. Line it up, simply like this, and just lift it up, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up, pop, bring it to your ear, okay? Let's get that off the list first, okay? So again, marker, lift, 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 pop. That's all. So that's gonna be your first fix. Next drill you're gonna do is you're gonna need 2 Frisbees. You're going to put one in the front of the batter's box, a little bit in front of your front foot, and one in the back of the batter's box. And this is gonna work on the part of the video where I need you to get that stride a little more forceful. If you have something smaller, that would be better. Maybe something half the size of this, but just to trigger you, to make sure that you're driving forward to attack the ball. The backside, if this is performed correctly when you swing, will pretty much clear or end up in the front part of that Frisbee. Thin pod, okay? So always make sure it's super safe when you're working with it. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get to your stride to split of CUDIT concentric hitting. We're gonna load to leg lift, stride to split. Now, you wanna make sure that you have that knob to the back as long as possible, building up that eccentric upper half in your upper extremity and your core, creating the power line of your front shoulder to back shoulder to elbow, really getting in there. I really feel it in my core. While my front half hip is already opening, allowing for a release already in my bottom half, creating that whip effect. Now, if you just go up and down, you're not really gonna get it as much. That's why we wanna really pull the body apart. That's CUDIT concentric hitting. Low lift, split. And just keep working that, okay? Charlie, I actually want you to say it as well, so it's kind of like a vocal training for yourself. Here we go. Low lift, split. Low lift, split. Low lift, split. And you just really feel that pull. I feel it on my front side releasing and in my core and upper extremity as well. So do that 3 rounds of 10 only. No ball, no swinging, just that. Now for drill number 3, we did our marker with our setup. We did our stride to split with our freeze, locking it in to train our body. And now we're actually gonna do the 3rd drill in which we swing and freeze after this drill. And you can see I'm pretty much halfway to my Frisbee, so my foot moved, and I cleared the front part of the front Frisbee. And you want to make sure that when you finish, you check yourself, okay? I don't want any of that anymore. I want your heel up and strong. I want you to do 3 reps of 10. Sometimes when we do drills, we think that we have to do 20 different drills, but you could train a player to be amazing by how you speak, how you break down their swing with the bat and the ball, okay? So make sure when you do this, you're breaking it down and training yourself as well. One of the last drills that I want you to do is I want you to work on actually being in the zone more, okay? So we're gonna have you lock in your body more. One of my favorite drills is our drill where I have it here to allow for effortless bat whip, where we just whip to the ball. But I want to get a little more detailed with you. So I want you to grab 5 softballs and line them up just like I do. When you line up to the tee, I want you to make sure that you're aware of that last softball. okay? Usually I do 3, but for the sake of really getting you to throw your body and stay in the zone as long as possible, I want to do 5. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to contact, okay? You're going to hit it at contact, and you're going to push, all right? And as you're doing this, your nose is in that path, lined up with the balls, okay? And it never moves throughout this swing. And right now, I'm just training my head. Think of the golf swing, head doesn't move. Throughout that most important part of the golf swing, cut a course 2, Bill. And I want to really throw my hip as I'm working to get to my power V. So it's not your arms, it's your hip, your kinetic energy, your buildup. And that's what we want to do to make sure we're locked here, 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 here. And your front elbow will slowly make its way up to your mouth versus out and around, okay? Up, 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 and over. Last but not least, I want to go over the front leg post. This is all you're going to do, my friend. You're going to do this 3 rounds of 10. Every drill, 3 rounds of 10. So, I want you to work on locking your front leg at barrel to ball versus this. At this point, everything is about to be lit through the barrel. But by you bending your knee, you're losing energy. When you lock it, it has to allow for that chain to build up and whip through the ball. Okay? So all we're going to do is work to lock only a barrel to ball. So how do you do that at such a young age? You break it down step by step and you freeze on each one. Load, lift, split. And you try to really lock in that front leg only at barrel to ball, not before. Load. And make sure that when you lock it, you can pause at stride to split just to check. You really lock it and you check it. For example, locked. That's what we want, okay? After you feel you got that, swing through. And I want that up always. Great job so far with your improvement. I just gave you a bunch of drills to do. I want you to get to work with them. Detail your training. Don't just do drill after drill after drill. Detail it, break it down piece by piece to get the 5 CUDIT concentric hitting steps. And then we go from there to the next level. Once those are in you, then we work on using those steps to hit consistently. Then as hard as possible. Then we work on different spots. Then we work on different spots consistently and as hard as possible. And then we put the whole package together. So you're in a great program right now and you're only gonna get better. All right? Good job, keep up the good work, and keep practicing.